Hi, I'm Ron Jones from Lean Berets in Tucson, Arizona with Enid Whitaker, Managing Director for Bonnie Prudden Myotherapy and veteran physical education teacher. And Enid, you know that I do a lot of research, not just on the history of PE and movement and fitness, but the foot itself. I've done a lot of research on Dr. William Rossi, who I consider to be the top American podiatrist ever. And you're going to talk about something that very few people today talk about in foot fitness, which is the long second toe, or it's also called the Greek foot.
Or Morton's foot.
Or Morton's foot. So what is Greek foot, Morton's foot, long second toe? What does it mean, and why does it matter to people, and how does it affect how we walk?
Well, even though it's called the long second toe, it's not that the toe is longer. It may be, but if you bend the knuckles of the toe down,
right,
then if the second knuckle is ahead of the first one, that's a long second toe.
So you don't actually look at the stubs of the toe sticking out. It's the bone structure behind.
It's where the bone, two knuckles are.
Right.
So if you have a regular foot, you land on a tripod. You hit your heel, and then you land on the inside and outside of the foot. So you have a tripod, so it's stable.
Right.
But if you have a long second toe, you land on the heel and you land in the middle. Which gives you an unstable foot.
You're kind of blading.
So all your life, the muscles of the lower leg overwork. And when you see a woman in high heels in the airport wobbling along, she's got a long second toe. One of the solutions is to go barefoot as much as possible because it allows you to spread your foot out. Another thing is that when you have a long second toe, the muscles on the bottom of the foot, you have 3 layers of muscles on the bottom of the foot. They overwork too. And so you begin to get hammer toes, and you begin to get corns. You get a bunion because the muscles pull the big toe over.
Your foot can't relax through gait at all. It's all compensating, right?
And you also get calluses either on the bottom of your foot or on the outside and inside of the toes. And
Bonnie wrote a lot about the long second toe.
So the solution is not orthotics.
Whoa!
In fact, I remember going to a sports medicine conference in Washington, D.C. where all the biggies were. And there was an orthopedic guy up talking about feet and orthotics and so forth, and somebody said, he said, if you have orthotics, I can make you walk twice or run twice as far as if you didn't have them. And some guy says, then what? And the guy says, take up biking. But the solution is very simple. What you do is you get some moleskin, cut out the size of a nickel and the size of a dime, and put it on the bottom, just in back of where give me your foot, right here. So you put it on the bottom of it, the nickel and the quarter, it's sticky, which lifts you off of here and gives you a tripod.
Oh, okay.
So it costs like
because this part of your foot,
50 cents.
Because the second metatarsal joints, it's hitting first, and you want to get this to hit first.
Yeah.
Or this to hit second.
Yeah. You want it to hit here and here instead of here and here.
Right. Okay. I mean, you can't change the actual bone structure of your foot.
Right.
I mean, I guess you could, but you might not want to do that.
Right.
So, but you can alter the padding part.
A lot of people who have sprained ankles have a long second toe because they do this all the time.
Oh, okay.
So anybody in sports, if they do this, they'll have fewer sprained ankles. And anybody who isn't in sports, they'll walk better, they'll have a better plant, and they won't get as much knee pain or hip pain because it translates out.
Yeah, because your feet aren't doing this as blading as much. So this is fascinating because I've looked at feet quite a bit, and people today just don't talk about this condition very much.
The other thing is now people know they're supposed to go barefoot, so then they go barefoot when they shouldn't. I mean, if you've watched the Maasai run or those Indians in Mexico, they run barefoot. Right. So now we think we should, but we've never run, period. Nor
have we been taught how to run, even when we do go running.
And when you run barefoot, your whole foot the way it's planted is different than if you have shoes on.
It's totally different.
So you're trying to do something that you've never been, your muscles aren't ready for, and it ends up being a disaster.
So walking around the house barefoot probably is a little bit smarter.
To begin with, or on the golf course or on the beach. That's a great way to develop the muscles of foot. And in all of Bonnie's exercise classes, we go barefoot.
Right, and she came out of Russian ballet and Swedish gymnastics, and all of that
and
had
modern
dance had foot fitness embedded into the programming. So important today, and yet very few people look at the structure of the foot or the Greek foot, long second
And as
toe.
Bonnie used to tell the guys at Springfield College, she was the first woman to be invited to Springfield College to teach. It used to be all guys. And as she used to tell the guys, if you don't have your sneakers off by midday, I'll know you're sexually inhibited. So off they came.
That's a good way to get them in barefoot. All right, thanks a lot for sharing that look back at the foot history.